Hold up, everyone. Today I wish to look at what happened in Las Vegas recently, the massacre by this devil, Stephen Paddock, where he shot a mass of people during a country music concert. I wish to see this and analyze this event from a spiritual point of view. We have here two gods drawn. Here we have the god Set, he who does red things or evil, bloody, stressful, tense, impulsive things, Lord of chaos, death, mental and emotional storms, and evil. And here we have his brother Osar, called he who does green things, meaning productive, organic, holistic, life giving things. He's Lord of peace, humanity, self mastery, and civilized behavior. They're obviously opposites. Now, from a deeper level, Set corresponds to the human midbrain, the emotional brain, called the mammalian complex, where all of your emotions come out, your rage, your anger, your frustration. When the emotions pop out, unchecked by reason, by thoughtfulness, by clarity of mind, just knee jerk, what I call emotional vomiting. That's called Set. And here we have the other god of evil in Egypt called Apop, who is what's called the reptile complex at the base of your skull. And he's shown as a serpent of many winding coils. He is the source of the biblical serpent in the Garden of Eden. But they're referring to brain centers. That's the key thing to discuss here. So when you have the reptile brain, which is very primitive, it's basically survive and kill, eat and mate. It's very primitive programs. When that brain is left undeveloped, uncultured, it becomes a twisted mind. The mind becomes twisted. You justify brutal and horrific acts. So here we have Stephen Paddock, but what I see in him is a deranged midbrain and a twisted reptile brain. Here's his father, who was a bank robber and also a clinical psychopath, where psychiatrists actually called him a psychopath. So clearly, there's something being inherited through the genetics of deranged mid and deranged reptilian brain centers. We have here these two diagrams. This is called the tree of life. This is called the tree of death. It's the reverse of this one. If you take this one and flip it upside down, you get this one. In the tree of life, which is the model of the world of the ancestors, the 10 dimensions of the ancestors, here we start and we go down and zigzag. We zigzag and go down. So this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Where the divine ancestors, the divinity, the pure side of humanity exists. And down here we have the physical body, the material world. What you'll notice is that what's held at the highest elevation is the light of divinity, of Osar who lives there, of peace, humanity, self-mastery, and civilized behavior. And all the other parts of the ancestral energies serve this humanity, this goodness. If you flip it, 10 becomes the top, and 10 means the material world. We call Geb, or Seb, or Set. So we see everything else here is at the service of materialism, capitalism, greed, the lower base emotions of humans. So my point here is that evil has a structure. Evil is not random. It has a geometry, just as good has a structure. So this is the DNA code for goodness. This is the DNA sequencing for evil. And there are groups on the earth who honor Set and who worship this tree of death. They actually worship it. And many of these people are in high positions of power in government and industry. They worship this tree of death and do these rather dark rituals that help keep people's brains in animalistic and twisted states. So we don't need gun control to solve this issue. Gun control is a band-aid solution. The true issue, in order to solve a problem, you must identify the true issue. The issue is Western culture has no educational system for developing the brain centers towards divinity. Let me repeat. Western systems have no required educational demands upon their citizens to upgrade their brain centers to divine levels. Nowhere in Europe, nowhere in America, North America, is there such an education system. You don't go to school to meditate. You're not required to meditate. You're not required to know thyself. You're not required to develop your brain towards divine states. You go to school for reading, writing, and arithmetic. In the end, for what goal? To become either a capitalist or a consumer. 10, 10, 10 here. Greed, greed, greed. Materialism, materialism, materialism. So here they try to make better things. Set and Apop try to make better things at the expense of people's mental health. And here we try to make better people and make the physical world serve making better people. So the issue is not gun control, it's divine initiation. As long as we don't demand of our children and of students and of our citizens to learn the ways of Osar, learn the ways of using your higher brain centers called the cerebral cortex, which is reason, and the frontal lobe, which is choice, and the divine brains called the pituitary pineal thalamus system. When you wake up those high brain centers, their job is to civilize the wild impulses of Set midbrain and Apop reptile brain, to tame them, to tame the wild beast. What he did was bestial, it was barbaric, it was savage, like a monster. To do that, he must have his higher brains shut off. The higher brains, the cortex, they say, we use only 10% of it, of our full brain. The cortex has a lot of room in there for programming. But programming what? Programming the higher brains with divine mind, divine energy, to tame the Set midbrain and the Apop reptilian brain. Until we have that, we will always have this happening in society at ever higher rates. So, I call for the Band-Aid solution, which is a very smart one. Strict gun control, because you have people with deranged brains shooting weapons. That is a wonderful Band-Aid solution. The deeper solution is to turn to Africa, that Europe and the white cultures need to look at the peoples of color on how to create educational systems, governmental systems of initiation of their citizens. I'm not certain if this will happen, but I make this video in case someone out there is listening and feels they can do their level best. But if you are a white person, you have to humble yourself to learning this from people of color, Native Americans, Black people, Aborigines, who knew how to build these systems into their government and educational institutions as requirements for office, requirements for authority, requirements for income. Each group has something to offer the other groups of Earth. Each race has a speciality. And in this case, this is, to me, what happened at Vegas and Columbine and all these such things is the result of Western cultures being too arrogant to learn from the peoples of color and their ancient traditions. So I pray this reaches ears that can hear, and I pray that you strive in your own ways to institute the elevating of the human mind, of the human spirit, the human brains to their higher levels of divinity and away from their wild, savage, bestial impulses. Long live the Osar ancestors, the Shemsu Osar, the Shemsu Heru, and may the Shemsu Set become a minority, a thing of the past. Dwawend Hotepu.